what if gravity didn't exist? It's a question that sparks immediate curiosity, a wild thought experiment that can reshape the very fabric of our understanding. Picture the world: no apples falling from trees, no planets orbiting a sun. But before we spiral into this intriguing scenario, let's take a moment to appreciate how gravity influences our daily lives. It's that invisible yarn that stitches our universe together. As we unravel the story of our existence through the lens of gravity, or the absence of it, you'll find revelations that will challenge your perspective and provoke deeper thoughts on our reality. So, buckle up, because what follows promises not just to inform but to astonish. Imagine waking up one morning in a world where gravity has simply vanished into thin air. You might be wondering what that would even look like. Would you float around in your home like an astronaut? The sheer vision is captivating and startling. Every solid object we know, houses, cars, even the ground beneath our feet, would suddenly lose its ability to hold everything down. You might glide through your kitchen, perform flawless pirouettes halfway across your living room, and reach for the sky without any struggle at all. There'd be a brand new dance to choreograph, and it would be a celestial ballet of freedom and chaos. Now, let's dive deeper. Without gravity, our bodies would undergo radical transformations. Bones and muscles rely on the constant pull of gravity to maintain their strength. Without it, our bodies would weaken over time. Astronauts returning from the International Space Station often experience muscle atrophy and bone density loss after just a few months in microgravity. Imagine prolonged exposure to a gravity-less world, a society of fragile beings, where our skeletal structure would become an afterthought, where we might evolve or reinvent ourselves into entirely different forms just to adapt. Isn't it wild to think of a future human race drifting through life rather than firmly planted on the ground? Here's something you didn't expect: the implications extend far beyond our physical state. Gravity governs everything from the smallest atoms to the grand structure of galaxies. Picture celestial bodies, planets, stars, and even entire galaxies, drifting apart like dust in the wind. The Earth, for instance, wouldn't just stop spinning, it would break free from its orbit around the Sun. The solar system would dissolve, with planets and moons spiraling off into the dark reaches of space, completely untethered. This cosmic choreography, with planets spinning chaotically through the void, demonstrates how gravity is the glue solidifying the structure of our universe. What would happen to life as we know it? The end of seasons? No more day and night? How would beings like us manage without the comforts of stability? Let's not forget about water. Oceans, lakes, rivers, all would transform dramatically. With no gravity to dictate their mass and shape, they'd morph and morph, flying off into the inconceivable expanse of the atmosphere. You might be thinking, what about the oceans of our planet? Would they pool haphazardly in the ether, creating massive water clouds? Perhaps you could sum it all up with one simple phrase: a watery abyss of chaos. The colorful coral reefs we cherish, teeming with marine life, would vanish, leaving behind barren landscapes of their former glory. Aquatic ecosystems, finely balanced over millions of years, would face annihilation. It's a harsh reality to grasp. And what if we zoom in and consider the very fabric of our planet? The Earth is an intricate network of tectonic plates held together by gravitational forces. Without gravity, these plates would float aimlessly, causing catastrophic rifts or even dissolving into liquid. Imagine towering mountains shedding their heights and cliffs flaking away without the anchor of weight. The delicate balance of geological formations in places like the Grand Canyon, where erosion and gravity intertwine, would be lost to time, and what once was would cease to exist. Our shared history written in stones, erased in a realm with no gravity. You may be left pondering, wouldn't the absence of gravity create an unregulated and chaotic world of phenomena? Surprisingly, facts indicate that our atmosphere, too, hinges on gravitational forces. Without gravity to retain it, the very air we breathe would escape into space. And believe it or not, life as we know it depends on an incredibly delicate balance of atmospheric pressure, a critical condition for survival. Picture a world devoid of breathable air, where the laughter of children is replaced by silence. Every gas, every drop of moisture, would simply float away, leaving behind a barren stretch of desolation. Now, let's return to the idea of human life. In a world without gravity, our very nature might evolve into something else entirely. You may wonder, what would it mean for our psyche and society? Would humans develop swollen features as we would no longer be subject to the effects of gravity? Would we evolve into beings with elongated limbs, a light frame, and a head filled with curiosity and wonder, floating untethered through our existence? What comes next will leave you speechless. As our bodies float through the cosmos, new forms of social interaction might emerge. A world without gravity could be a canvas for surreal experiences, friendships forged in shared weightless games, romance found in mid-air twirls, and new sports developed for loft-bound lifestyles. Isn't it thrilling to imagine how our relationships might change? Life would ebb and flow differently, pulling and lifting like the gentle hand of a wave, forever and ever over the eternally unsteady surface of existence. Yet, let's not forget one crucial aspect, the stars. With gravity's absence, we could lose our sun, the fundamental heart of our solar system. Without its gravitational embrace, the Earth would drift farther away, chilling its surface while plunging humanity into darkness. Starlight would be rekindled from the depths of the universe, but the warmth, the light, and life in harmony would become a distant memory. Would there be twilight mingling with shades of sorrow? Are we, as beings of light, destined to perish in the absence of a radiant sun? Now, allow me to pivot for a moment. Have you ever stopped to consider the laws of physics beyond gravity? Elements of space and time exist in a tight synchrony that defines our universe, but without gravity, what happens to those laws? Would time warp erratically, diverging from the linear experience we understand? In the absence of a stable gravitational pull, the flow of time could become as elusive as quicksilver slipping through our fingers. Would we find a world where time loses its meaning, spiraling into disarray and defying our understanding? Ponder this. Time isn't merely a clock ticking away, it's intimately tethered to existence itself. As intriguing as these ideas are, it's vital to focus on how gravity intricately weaves into every fabric of our lives. It's not merely a distant concept, it's what binds us to each other and our environments. Relationships thrive on the gravity of connection, our shared experiences pulling us closer, anchoring our lives with emotional weight. Without it, would we feel that strong bond, or would relationships dissolve into solitude? The philosophy of gravity extends beyond the physical realm, it pierces the very core of human experience. Here's a twist, the absence of gravity doesn't just affect the physical, it impacts creativity and innovation, too. Imagine artists who can paint or sculpt in mid-air. Would we see a flourishing of art that defies our current understanding? What novel inventions might arise from the mind of humanity as we adapt to life in weightlessness? Picture tiny spacecraft powered by life forms that travel through the universe as gracefully as brushstrokes on a canvas, a newfound freedom for creative exploration. As we journey through these unfolding ideas, it's imperative to acknowledge the question that lingers: what would humanity become in a world without gravity? Would we still have scientists striving for knowledge? Would technological advancements grind to a halt, or would new horizons emerge as humanity adapts? Life always seeks to survive, so could we craft flying societies, learning to navigate the weightlessness of existence with grace and flexibility? Perhaps creation could flourish in bold new forms. Let's consider another layer: philosophy and spirituality. What role would gravity play in our understanding of ourselves and the universe? The loss of the Earth's embrace could spark an existential crisis, prompting questions of purpose and direction without grounding. What is our significance in a universe where everything drifts? Would we search for alternate anchors, belief systems, connections, or ideas to fill that gravitational void? Or would it lead us to greater exploration, an age of celestial wanderers in search of new homes among the stars. In exploring these dark corners of the void, you might question what value we place on our planet. The Earth, a beautiful blue orb teeming with life, exists solely because of gravity's nurturing hold. In a world untouched by this force, we gain a newfound appreciation for our delicate existence, like whispers in the wind. If nothing else, we learn that gravity grounds us, even as we tumble through the metaphysical depths of imagination, reminding us of our collective journey towards understanding. Finally, what can we take away from this extraordinary journey into a gravityless reality? Despite the chaos such a world presents, it pushes us to celebrate what we have, the breathtaking experience of gravity that shapes our lives, our relationships, and the essence of who we are. It instills gratitude, urging us to look up at the stars and realize just how connected we are in our beautiful cosmic dance. In closing, ponder this: by contemplating what could happen without gravity, we receive a precious gift. You've experienced the thrill of curiosity, the unraveling of what makes our universe tick, and an emotional connection to life, love, and existence itself. Gravity may not just be a simple force of nature, it is a reminder of our responsibility to cherish what enlivens our shared world. For though the void of space may surround us, it's the unbreakable bonds holding us to reality that transform our journey from chaos to beauty. Thank you for joining me in exploring this wondrous musing on gravity.